She said, "It was just a friendship." Until I saw the messages. It started with something small. It always does. Her phone used to sit on the counter while she cooked, buzzing with random notifications. She never cared if I saw them. Sometimes she'd even ask me to read a text for her while her hands were covered in flour. It used to be so easy, so natural. But then, little by little, things changed. She started putting her phone face down. At first, I thought nothing of it. People get more private with work stuff, right? I told myself it was no big deal. But then she started carrying it everywhere, even into the bathroom. It felt silly to notice. But the more I ignored it, the more impossible it became to ignore. Then came the late nights. We're under deadline. Helping a colleague with a project. "Don't wait up." She always said it casually, like it was the most normal thing in the world. And I wanted to believe her. I chose to believe her. Because the alternative, that she was lying to me, was too painful to accept. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. Her smile wasn't the same anymore. It wasn't warm or effortless. It was tight, rehearsed, like she was hiding something behind it. At dinner, her eyes weren't on me. They were on the screen of her phone, flashing with messages she wouldn't let me see. I tried to convince myself I was overthinking, that relationships go through rough patches, that maybe it was stress. But in the quiet spaces between her excuses, doubt began to grow. And late at night, when she slipped into bed hours after me, I would lie awake, wondering, who is she talking to so much? The first real crack came on a Saturday morning. She went out to get coffee, leaving her laptop open on the table. Normally, I would have ignored it. But when the screen lit up with a notification, my eyes betrayed me. It wasn't work. It wasn't family. It was a message. From someone saved only as A. The preview showed just 5 words. "Last night was amazing again." My stomach twisted into knots. When she came back, I tried to act normal. I smiled, asked about the coffee, kissed her cheek. But inside, something had broken. I became more observant after that. The way she giggled at her phone when she thought I wasn't looking. The way she stepped into the bedroom to answer certain calls. The way she brushed me off with, "just work stuff," when I asked who it was. Every little thing started to add up. And then one night, curiosity became stronger than my restraint. While she showered, I picked up her phone. My hands were shaking. My heart was pounding so loudly I thought she'd hear it through the running water. And there it was. Not just a friend. Not just harmless messages. Flirty emojis. Long late-night conversations. Plans to meet again. And then the words that cut the deepest. "He's too trusting. He'll never suspect a thing." I felt the air leave my lungs. It was like reading a script from a play where I was the fool. But I didn't confront her. Not yet. It wasn't anger I felt. Not even jealousy. It was something colder, heavier. A need for undeniable truth. So I waited. I started paying attention to her patterns. Every Thursday, she was working late. Every Saturday, she had brunch with friends. Always the same lines, like rehearsed dialogue. Finally, one Thursday, I told her I had to stay late at work too. She smiled, almost relieved, and kissed me goodbye before rushing out the door. But I didn't go to the office. I followed her. My heart pounded the entire drive. Every time her car turned, I thought she'd notice me. I kept my distance, but close enough to see where she went. And then I saw it. She pulled into a quiet bar across town. A man was already there, waiting. She slid into the booth beside him. Not across, but next to him. He placed his hand on her leg, and she didn't push it away. She leaned in close, whispering, laughing in a way she hadn't laughed with me in months. I sat in my car, gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles turned white. There it was. Proof. Not in texts. Not in suspicions. But in reality. I didn't go inside. What good would it do? To scream? To make a scene? To let her twist it into my problem? No. I wasn't going to give her that power. I drove home in silence. Packed a bag. Took only what I needed. Then I sat down at the kitchen table and wrote a note. Not angry. Not desperate. Just truth. Asterisk. You told me it was just friendship. But friends don't meet in secret. Friends don't hold hands under the table. Friends don't laugh at jokes they're too ashamed to tell me. You wanted freedom. Now you have it. Asterisk. I left the note where her coffee mug usually sat. Then I walked out. The calls started just after midnight. At first, I let them ring. Then came the texts. Where are you? This isn't what you think. We just talked. But I had seen enough. By morning, her tone had changed. Please, let's talk. Don't be childish. You're throwing everything away. Throwing everything away. That phrase hit me harder than anything. To her, I was the one throwing it away. My trust, my love, my loyalty, all reduced to nothing. So I didn't answer. The days that followed felt strange. I stayed with a friend who didn't ask questions, who just handed me a blanket and let me sleep on the couch. For the first time in months, I woke up without waiting for her texts to dictate my mood. I ate breakfast without hearing, "Sorry, I'm busy." I went for a walk and realized I hadn't noticed the sound of leaves under my feet in years. It was like coming up for air after being underwater too long. She showed up at my door a week later. No makeup, eyes swollen from crying. She held out her phone like it was evidence. "See?